Bring in seven-term Republican Congressman Tom Cole of Oklahoma. He also ran the Republican Party in Oklahoma, was chief of staff to the RNC during the historic 2000 election cycle. So he's been around the block as both a candidate, an elected official, behind-the-scenes guy. Congressman Cole, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Chuck.
About 2 weeks ago, you were very publicly in favor of the Draft Ryan proposal, or the backup plan of Paul Ryan. You certainly were intrigued about it. Are you disappointed this afternoon?
No, look, I think Paul has been perfectly straight with everybody all along. He said he didn't want to do this. He's been abundantly clear. He's repeated it. And so I take him at his word. I don't think he has any intention of becoming a candidate. I don't think he has any intention of allowing himself to be drafted as a candidate.
So what does that do for you now? Where do you want to turn?
Look, I'm going to support the Republican nominee. I just wish that the candidates that are competing would not put themselves in the position of alienating one another's supporters here. Whoever is the nominee is going to need everybody that's at the convention. And frankly, you know, we would be better off if they weren't declaring that one or the other of them or all three of them are somehow not appropriate presidential candidates. Frankly, they all have a lot of individual accomplishments. They've all gotten down to the final three in what was a 17-man derby. They're pretty impressive. So, but they need to learn how to build bridges between one another instead of walls.
You used to be a pollster. If a pollster called you up and said, should the Republican Party nominate the person who has the most votes and most delegates going into the convention, even if it's not a majority, what would you say?
Well, first of all, I didn't see how the question was worded. I think that last part has always been a problem. I think when you say the person who's got the most votes, most people tend to think that is a majority. The reality is none of these candidates have a majority of the vote. None of them are likely to win a majority of the vote. The rules are pretty clear. You have to get a majority of the delegates. There's a variety of ways to do that. I think all these candidates, or at least both Trump and Cruz, have won caucuses and general election or open primaries alike. So let's just play it out. But again, I would advise all of them, don't start condemning the other person. You're going to need that person. You're going to need their supporters.
Do you think that the convention has no choice but to only consider these three candidates?
No. I mean, the rules are very clear. If none of them can get to a majority of the votes, then the convention's free to choose whoever they want. Now, my instinct would tell me that one of these three will get a majority of the votes, probably pretty early, probably, you know, no later than the third or fourth ballot. But if for some reason you went after that, well, then, look, the delegates there have been empowered to make that decision. Now, they're bound to vote and honor the primaries. I think they all will. But at some point, if there's competing candidates and nobody can get a majority, they might want to look someplace else. That's up to them.
So you will support, by the way, you are, if Donald Trump's the nominee, you're going to support him?
I support the Republican nominee, period.
No matter what?
No matter what. Look, I'm going to be running with the Republican nominee if I'm fortunate enough to win my own primary. And so, yeah, it's one of the reasons I stayed out of this thing. I don't want to be in a position of throwing darts at somebody that may well be head of the ticket that I'm running on. So I think, again, you either play by the rules and accept the outcome, which I do, and support the nominee or not. And I've always supported the Republican nominee. There's certainly no reason why I wouldn't do so this time.
All right, Tom Cole, I'm going to leave it there. Congressman from Oklahoma, good to visit with you, sir. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Chuck.
You got it. Good talking with you. Coming up.